Good morning, everyone. Warren County Fiscal Court, Thursday, September 12th, 2024 is now called to session. I appreciate everyone being here today. We're going to start off with an invocation from Magistrate Ron Cummings, followed by a pledge the flag by Esquire Scott Lasley.
Thank you, Judge. Pray with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, Jesus, we just thank you for today, Lord. We are thankful for the upcoming rain that we're supposed to be getting, as you know that we need it. Lord, pray for those that have been in the path of the hurricane. Lord, may you be with them, protect those that may be damaged and affected by this. Lord, as we come to you today, conducting the business of Warren County, Lord, may you continue to give us wisdom and guidance, Lord, and divine intervention for us in things that we do that make this place a great place to live. May we never forget that you are the sustainer of all, Lord, and you provide all things that we need. Lord, we give you all honor, praise, and glory in everything that we do. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Please face the flag and join me. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Here.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Here.
Esquire Aldridge.
Here.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Here.
First item is approved minutes of the fiscal court meeting on August 29th, 2024. Motion by Esquire Williams, second by Esquire Lasley. Any corrections? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 5 is approved personnel changes for Warren County. Motion by Esquire McWhorter, second by Esquire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Next item is approve the work schedule for the Warren County Road Department. Motion by Esquire Aldridge, second by Esquire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll take a little short break here. In our agenda, we've got a couple of presentations, and I'm happy to have John Gipes here, the Vice Chair for our State Committee, and I want to read a letter of support before John gets up there. This is for the Guard and Reserve, something we take very seriously here. So Warren County Fiscal Court, we recognize the Guard and Reserve are essential to the strength of our nation and the well-being of our communities. In the highest American tradition, the patriotic men and women of the Guard and Reserve serve voluntarily. In an honorable and vital profession, they train to respond to their community and their country in time of need. They deserve the support of every segment of our society. If these volunteer forces are to continue to serve our nation, increased public understanding is required of the essential role of the Guard and Reserve in preserving our national security. Therefore, we join other employers in pledging that we fully recognize, honor, and comply with the Uniformed Service Employment and Reemployment Rights Act. We will provide our managers and supervisors with the tools they need to effectively manage those employees who serve in the Guard and Reserve. We appreciate the values, leadership, and unique skills service members bring to the workforce and will encourage opportunities to employ guardsmen, reservists, transitioning service members, and veterans, and we will continually recognize and support our country's service members and their families in peace, in crisis, and in war. John, thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Judge Gorman. Appreciate the opportunity to come and address you all today. You'll have to forgive my voice. I've got some of that Ohio Valley crud going on today. So, well, on behalf of Brigadier General Retired Mike Ritchie, who's our state chair, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you for allowing us to come and talk to you today about our program. And we work and represent employer support of the Guard and Reserve, which is a Department of Defense program. It's there's 4,500 volunteers and support staff across the state. It's primarily, not the state, the nation. There's primarily volunteers, because like in Kentucky, we have one full-time support staff. The rest are volunteers. But what we do is we're a program that develops and promotes supportive work environments for reserve component service members. And we do this through outreach, recognition, and educational opportunities. And what this does is increase the awareness of the applicable laws and resolves conflicts between employers and reserve component service members. It's based in law, the Uniform Services Employment Rights and Re-Employment Rights Act of 1994. The organization itself has been around since 1972. But how this came about is after the Vietnam War, General Creighton Abrams, who was the Army Chief of Staff, came to realize that the Guard and Reserve need to play a more important role than what they did in Vietnam. And he said, we'll never go to war again without the Guard and Reserve, because he felt like it didn't, not taking them to war in Vietnam didn't involve the communities enough. And that's why there was so much strife in that time against the war. So he redesigned the Army, and he designed it so that it couldn't go to war without the Guard and Reserve. Today, almost half the military resides in the reserve component. A lot of people aren't aware of this, and it's actually fiscally, I should say, responsible, because the Guard and Reserve only cost about a third of what the active component does. So it provides a lot of bang for the buck. As a matter of fact, about 80% of the forces that are in the CENTCOM area of responsibility, which is the Middle East, are now Guard and Reserve component soldiers. Well, nobody realizes that because they see them on TV. They're all dressed, it says U.S. Army, U.S. Air Force, whatever. But that's something we continue to do. We have units deployed now that are supporting the training of Ukrainians in their fight against Russia. Pardon me. And the way we do this, we have 4 tenets of our operations. We do employer outreach and education. We do military outreach and education. We have an ombudsman program, and our ombudsman, basically with our employer outreach and our military outreach, our volunteers will talk and help educate, create awareness for the employer's responsibilities and the military's responsibilities, because service members have responsibilities to their employers as well. Our ombudsmen are our legal aspect of things. We don't ever make our legal decisions, but they help mediate and try to get a resolution to if there's any conflict between the employers and their service members. We're very fortunate in Kentucky. We have 7 ombudsmen, and 6 of our ombudsmen are either still serving as judges or are retired judges, so they're very familiar with the law, and you can take what they say to the bank. Our last tenet of our program is our recognition. And we have about 7 levels of recognition. Our bottom level, it's not really the bottom, but it's the easiest, and is called a Patriot Award. And this is something a service member can do to go online and recognize their immediate supervisor. And although it's at the bottom when we rank them as far as importance, to me it's most important because it is something that an individual service member gives to their immediate supervisor, and it's very meaningful. I was talking to a gentleman in the back who received one of those several years ago from one of his employees, and he still has it hanging on his wall, so that's a good thing. These continue up, recognizing dedication by employers, and goes all the way up to the Freedom Award. That's our highest honor. We have roughly 3,000 to 3,200 nominations each year for Freedom Awards from all over the country. Each state will gather all the ones that are done through their state, employers in their state are their service members, and then they'll send we have 3 categories: large corporation, small corporation, and public entity. So each state submits one nomination from each of those categories forward. They take it up to national level. They scull it down to the final 15. Those 15 are our Freedom Award winners, and they're brought to Washington, D.C. and wined and dined for about 3 days, and then it culminates in being presented the award by the Secretary of Defense. So it's quite an honor. We do a lot of those. We've been very successful in Kentucky, having 4 Freedom Award winners in the past 5 years. So we're do a very good job in the state of recognizing our employers. So why is this so important to Kentucky? Well, we have 12,000 Reserve Component Service members that live in Kentucky. About 7,600 of those are National Guard members. And why is that important? Well, The Guard is a little bit different than the other reserve components because it has a dual mission. It has a state mission, which would assist the governor in time of emergencies and things like that. Y'all are well aware of that after the tornadoes hit just a couple of years ago. But it also has a federal mission. So the president, whenever he deems it's necessary, can activate the Guard, and we've been doing a lot of that lately. We do a lot of other things in the Guard outside of that as well. That's important, and sometimes it's very hard for employers because it takes your employees away from you for things that you don't really think about. You know, when you go to war, it's one thing. You can fully support that, but we have a lot of other missions that we have to do, such as the disaster relief. The COVID mission a few years ago, when that came out, we had quite a few guardsmen and reservists that were assisting in that mission. The Southwest Border mission. We have thousands of people on the Southwest border right now doing that, helping out with the Border Patrol. Presidential inaugurations, Kentucky Derby, big events like that, we support those kind of things. So, and wrapping this up, sir, what we try to do is educate employers on, for one, their responsibilities, but secondly, the importance of supporting the reserve component and the benefit you get from hiring reserve component service members. They bring a lot to the table. I mean, it's actually now less than 3 out of 10 high school graduates even qualified to serve in the armed forces. So you're already getting the cream of the crop. But they bring exceptional leadership skills as they gain rank. They've gone through leadership training at every level, and that continues to increase their excellence. They're professional, they're responsible. They've already been successful in a diverse workplace, which is important these days. They're in great physical shape. They have a can-do attitude. They're calm under pressure. They understand the importance of a professional image. They're on time all the time, and they have a global perspective. A lot of things that employers are looking for, and they don't always think about this when they're thinking about hiring veterans and reserve component service members. But in closing, sir, it's critically important for the defense of our nation and maintaining our freedom to support these reserve component service members. And we just want to let everyone know that we're here to help support you all in any way that we can to ensure that these service members get the kind of support that they need from their employers, but also that they do the things that they're responsible for with regards to their employers. Without that, thank you, sir. We appreciate the time.
Great, John, thanks so much.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Very valuable information. Of course, we're known for a lot of things, but I would love nothing more than if we were known worldwide as the most veteran-friendly community in the world.
That'd be a great goal.
We absolutely, our Magistrate Tom Lawrence is a proud veteran, and we appreciate the work there. I would like to shout out a great friend of mine, Tyler Brown, who just spent 13 months overseas, a reservist, and over the Middle East. Young family, but a guy that puts service before self, which is what reservists are all about, and we need a lot more of that in this country for sure. If you wouldn't mind, though, we'd like to take a quick picture with the court up here with this proclamation, if that's all right.
Look good. Okay, perfect.
All right, thank you so much for that. Now I'd like to have Chris Cummer come forward for a presentation. There he is.
Traveling pack again?
Traveling packs. All right, Judge. Fiscal Court, we wanted to make some acknowledgments today. As you all know, We really survive on partnerships and relationships within our community, and we are so blessed in Warren County to have just wonderful partnerships that are long-standing. And I wanted to introduce several people today that have made our Warren County Youth Football League experience for the 2024 season enhanced and better. And so with me today is Mr. White with CPG, Mr. Hardcastle with CPG, Robert Nyhouse with Stuart and Ritchie, and then also Mr. Grimes. These four individuals this season were able to work with us, partner with us, and for the first time, I think, in about 35 years, if you've been out to Basil Griffin Park, ever played youth football, we got some pretty old school goals on Field 1. That's our primary field. If you drive out there today, because of the partnership and the donation and the sponsorship of Stuart and Ritchie, they have two beautiful football goals that rival any high school in the state of Kentucky, and it is through the generosity of Stuart and Ritchie, Mr. Nyhouse, Mr. Grimes, their entire team. They came out, they put up these beautiful goals. It's roughly a $10,000 donation sponsorship to the kids and families of Warren County. That's the old school goals. And here in the next slide, we got some beautiful goals. Don't mind the paint. We've got about probably 400 coats on that, kept up by paint. And these beautiful new goals, again, old school goals. And we'll see these beautiful new goals. And so the kids that were playing Tuesday night, the kids that'll be out there tonight, the kids, if it's not raining too hard, will be out there Saturday. They get to experience something as well as our new remote-controlled painting machine, which those lines, just for the record, those are the straightest lines we've ever had because of the support of Fiscal Court. It allows these kids, these players, these citizens, these future professionals within our community to have an exceptional experience. And I am so grateful for these individuals behind me and for the support of their teams in allowing us to enhance the abilities and the offerings that we provide for the citizens of Warren County, their kids, their families. Also with Mr. Hardcastle and Mr. White, we are all about some windscreen. And so windscreen serves multiple purposes for us. Number one, it helps with advertising, it helps with safety, it helps with control, and it helps with sponsorships and recognition. And so with their continued support, and Mr. Hardcastle, Mr. White, over the years, as well as Stuart and Ritchie, have helped us on multiple projects, plumbing, you name it. Over the years, they have provided this year a beautiful windscreen at Football Field 1. That's our gym field. That's where it all started years ago. We have a beautiful windscreen there that is not the old rickety windscreen that we've had there for a long time, with again, a $2,500 to $3,000 donation sponsorship to the department. So I want to publicly recognize Stuart and Ritchie, CPG, Mr. Hardcastle, Mr. White, their entire team, for being vested in the quality of life experiences that we are able to provide. Also want to thank Cliff Meeks and Clinton Hout, employees on our team, Parks team, for working with these partnerships and developing these professional relationships. So on behalf of Warren County, on behalf of the Parks Department, and all the kids that are having fun on Field 1, I want to thank you for your continued support.
Well, we greatly appreciate Stuart Ritchie and CPG, great community partners, great citizens of the community as well. Roddy, I guess are you Robert's stunt double or what? Support. All right, that's good. But we do appreciate it. Mayor Hardcastle, Joe, thank you so much for all the hard work. I want to point out Cliff Meeks has finally been relieved of line duty and replaced by a little machine, so that's good, Cliff. Kids will know how to run now. That's good. So, but we greatly appreciate our parks is one of the best, obviously, in the state, and we consider it such a gem of our community. They do great partnerships with so many different people. But what a fantastic thing for Stuart Ritchie and CPG to continue to give back this community. And thank you on behalf of Warren County. Thank you so much for your partnership. We appreciate it greatly. Thank you. All right. Courtney, how many people have you brought today? That's good. But we're excited about, speaking of partnerships, we're excited about a partnership we want to roll out. And we've invited our Warren County Public Library Director, Court Stevens, to come forward and tell us a little bit about what we got planned.
Well, thank you so much for having me and for letting me present today. The judge told me as long as I kept it to an hour, we're fine. So, no.
I'm good with it. You got to go through these guys. I don't know, so.
I will not do that to you, but I'm sharing a remote control with Chris. And so, Chris, will you put up that first slide for us? I know you all know quite a bit about the library, but I don't know for sure if you really know exactly how we think about our mission. And so you're going to see some words you really value there, like improving patron quality of life, right? Quality of life's that thing, like it's our buzzword that we just have to hold on to because Warren County is growing in such a powerful way that we have to make sure there's reasons for people to move here, live here, and love it, right? And so we're super excited to be part of the Love It. And also I think knowing that regardless of where your financial standings are, that we're kind of bridging those gaps to provide equitable access to both information and quality of life, right? So how are we doing at it, right? That's what you should, that's a good question, right? So I got a stat on that too, which is pretty crazy, all right? So this is from the last year, 23-24, 124,203 patrons attended youth and family programs across 9 locations. Remind me of the population of Warren County?
143.
Yeah, that's okay, right? And then those are just when people come to us. When people are, we also take it very seriously to go to other people. And so you got another 73,000 or so that we were able to touch outside of the building. And I will tell you right now that that is not possible without that man over there. Right. Chris Cummer and the partnership that we have with Warren County Parks and Rec. We could do a whole other presentation on it. You've already heard them all, but man, it's pretty powerful. And you can actually see it. We charted it over the last 10 years. So this next slide kind of shows you, if you're wondering, is it growing? It's growing. So in 2015, we got 10,000 people basically that we were hitting outside of our building. 10 years later, 73,000. It's crazy, right? And it's super exciting. I'm going to show you a couple more things before I get to do the announcement part. So this is what we look like in 2024. 4 locations, right? Here's what we look like today. You hit the next slide. So that's quite a few more. And what that means is that we are able to reach into the parts of the community that maybe can't get to us. Now, today, for the purpose of this presentation, what we want to look at is that word's coming soon. And so that coming soon, thanks to our phenomenal partnership with the judge, with Warren County, with you all, we're excited to say that we would really love to step in and provide some love to our Skokie Farmers Market. And so we're... You can see on the next one, that's our next coming soon right there. And what has our farmers market been doing for the last 5 years? There's an incredible legacy there. It was built by this system to add that quality of life element. So some of the elements that you have seen, you will continue to see, right? Here's that next slide. These are the things that we're known for. The farmers market itself. The Warren County Public Parks and Recs Sprout Club and other family programming, all the community downtown events, the party under the pavilion, venue rentals, rotating small business incubator, host of the Skokie Ice Rink, which is certainly has been an amazing, that was my kind of gateway. You know, everybody has their on-ramp to really falling in love with the location. That was my on-ramp. And so Nikki Kohler, Sarah Bessinger, Leah Sperlin, that whole crew, you know, sometimes, you know, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So we are here today because 5 years ago, I kind of fell in love with the ice rink and want to make sure that that amazing community asset continues as it is. And then obviously to help celebrate downtown, we know the initiatives that are happening there and how exciting it is. So what do you get if Warren County Public Library is now helping to shepherd and steward the Skokie marketplace? I think these are the things primarily that you're going to get. Innovation and marketing, some capital improvements, and then just quality of life opportunities happening down there, right? And I can show you why I think this is pretty good. So our stats for our marketing are on the next slide. This is decent. This is just for August. This is our social media reach, our followers, our website, and our email reach. So even just adding the marketing tools at like the base of the library to say, hey, please come out to the farmers market. We would love to have you down here. I think is going to create a stability that we've been longing for the last 5 years. And so that's exciting to me. And like also, you know that we have a track record for this. So on the next slide, you can kind of see, 4 years ago, Lisa Rice was in my position now and was able to say, I think we could take on the Capitol and make it back into a thriving venue. And you know what? She was right. Because just in 2024, we did 203 events there, bringing 40,000 people almost to downtown. The things that we're doing out of that are camps and schools and performances and events. There's always something on that marquee. And I hope every time that you all see it, you're like, yeah, we did that. And you did. And we're excited to be a part of it. And like we see this new adventure similarly to the way we saw taking over the Capitol. Will we know it all this year? No. But will we grow it? You bet. You bet. And you can kind of see on the next slide, I was saying capital improvements. I don't know that you all know this or not, but we were able to add an indoor ticket booth of improvement inside the Capitol. We also added a new concession area. I mean, just making it easier and better for our patrons and citizens to be able to enjoy these amazing assets that we already have. Now, what does it look like under the pavilion? Well, I have some ideas. I'm a little dangerous when I have ideas. I can't tell you which ones that we'll 100% go with, because what we do, we don't just do anything arbitrarily. We go by data. We go by asking people. We research our community and say, what's coming? What would help you? What meets your need? And so we're going to have our ear to the ground when we think about what comes at the market, right? And so I've got 4 slides of like imagination. One of them, not so imagination. It used to be somebody's imagination and now it's brought to life. But this first one is, obviously reinvigorating our farmers market. And what does that look like? Does it mean that we look at adding some semi-permanent stalls for a period of time, just like to get people there and make it set up easier and attract more farmers? Maybe that's what we do. That we keep going with our inflatable and our kids club. And wouldn't it be awesome if there was cornhole under the pavilion, like other reasons for people to come and feel that, like, the joy of a farmer's market. A farmer's market is about rhythm, right? Becomes part of the rhythm of downtown life. And that's one of the things that we want to bring to it, right? Another idea that we have going is, we tried really hard to put that outdoor movie screen on the side of Skypack, right? And the problem with that is that it takes really a long time for it to get dark in the time of year that you want to use it. So we were wondering if maybe we could rethink that great idea, but pull the screen up in the corner so it would be underneath the pavilion, which would mean families could come and start that earlier. And it would be, because who wants to take a 3-year-old out at 9:30 and see a movie, right? And so you're like, oh, we want to make this more family friendly. Of course, one of the huge things that the current crew there has done and worked so hard to do is to add food truck plugs. And so now you're not going to have the noise of that generator going, right? Another idea we've got going, we got another one here. I don't know, but I heard pickleball's a thing. I feel like, in fact, I was out watching my kiddo play inline hockey at our park system, I know, right? On Monday night, and the pickleball court was overrun. It was crazy. And you know what my favorite thing about it was? Is that every generation of person was out there. And that's the kind of thing that would, if we could try and figure out how to bring games and that element downtown, I think it'd be awesome. I mean, that would be temporary. We were just like, have you seen those cities that have giant checkerboards or giant chessboards? We're like, what if we played with that idea? While we have these food trucks and markets going on. Also in that top corner, I can't tell you that this is going to happen, but I can tell you that I have been in amazing conversations with the Kentucky Science Center. They are interested, as you know, in making a home in Bowling Green and Warren County. We are certainly invested in working with them and bringing out the same population of people. And so we are currently trying to figure out an outdoor exhibit that would be temporarily placed under the pavilion. That would be a promotional thing for them. And then when they move here full time, we'll move it to their location. But wouldn't that be awesome if we had some kind of reflective science piece that was right there and that kids could come out and enjoy? And then, of course, as you know, the ice rink, which is the next slide, that's not going anywhere. We're going to keep joining that crew and making sure that that happens in the best way possible. And like I said, that's kind of my treasure. Well, one last thing, because the coming soon, every now and then the judge is like, and more, right? Which I love, and more. Like, why not? It's like a set of steak knives, and more. We hit the next picture. Man, we've got a great new space coming up. In fact, our annex, our new office annex for Warren County Public Library has a view. It's the old Harold's TV. Yeah. So I'm staring at that park every day of my life, and it's coming together. They're rolling out the AstroTurf today. And so that's very exciting. And so this new area, the Fringe, which is in partnership with so many people, right? The city, the county, TIF, everyone coming together to go, let's beautify this location. Let's give another place for people to come and enjoy life in Warren County. We just said, since we already have some food truck parks going on around the corner, we would be absolutely delighted to make sure that we could handle the reservation system for this new area. So food truck, we can be the point of contact for food trucks. So make sure that they're there for events. We've got one more photo in case I bet you all have seen it. But that reservation system will be coming soon. We'll release that soon, but it's starting to look amazing. So thank you all so much for your trust. Thank you, Judge, for giving us this opportunity to grow and to provide quality of life. What questions could I answer for you all?
I always like you introduced all your people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So I have the best team in the world. So starting down here, this is Laura Beth Fox Ezel. She is the executive program manager. So all those things that are happening, she is the primary point of bringing them to life. Alex Love, right here, he's in charge of all of our facilities, so he's the only person in this room that hates you right now. No, I'm kidding. He has been amazing. Every time I've said, here we grow again, he's like, I got this. And so what an asset to have on our team. And he's the systems administrator, so he also handles all of our technology and all of our facilities. It's a massive job. Chris Jackson is sitting next to him. He is our executive branch manager. He takes care of all the our branches and circulation and core library needs and that entire staff. That's amazing. Emily Wattoon is right next to him. She is our, she occupied the position that I used to be in, so near and dear to my heart, the community outreach manager. And that is, you see that 73,000 people? She's the one orchestrating all the things that go out with that team and partnering with our favorite partners over there. And then last and brand new to our team here is Gracie Harris. We just recently added a resilience lead, someone specific to work on making sure that we are ready for when chaos and storms and bad weather happen. So what does it look like to build partnerships during blue sky so that we are ready for gray sky events? And this is in conjunction with our partnership with the Red Cross, who have done so many things for us this past year. So thank you. They're amazing.
Okay.
Except for the IU hat, I'm not sure.
Other questions for Courtney? Fantastic presentation. This started with our partnership with Parks and Rec. We have been blessed to have the entire library staff working so closely with Chris and his staff and really enhancing the quality of life in our community. We had an opportunity, of course, come to us with the farmers market. We want to make sure that pavilion, the commercial kitchen, all of those things are run to the best of their abilities. So we're definitely looking forward to that. And I know it's a big, tall order, but what we know is, just from experience, we're very satisfied that we know that we're going to have a great partnership and some great things. I think the best days are ahead for the entire area, and we're excited about that. And also, if you want to know how many cups of coffee Courtney has in the morning before her presentations, just ask her. None.
I don't drink
She's
coffee.
on fire all the time.
I don't even drink coffee. Can you imagine? I'm sorry.
No, thank you. And we're thankful you don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
That's good. No. What an absolute superstar in our community. We appreciate everything you do, and an impact player. And again, an impact player with the group as well. You can tell that. So thank you for your leadership. We're looking forward to that partnership. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
I say we're looking forward to it. Let's see how this proceeds. All right, item 7, approve a lease for 5-year agreement between Warren County and the Warren County Public Library for the use of Taylor's Chapel and the Soki Pavilion in the amount of $1 per year through December 31st, 2029. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call a roll.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, congratulations, thanks. We're looking forward to a great partnership. And I want to also thank Nikki and Sarah for their hard work that they've done in preparation for this, and to be honest with you, ensuring that the county is taken care of and protected. So we appreciate all of their hard work on that too. And please, if you're out today, I'm sure you'll see it. There's some great things I want to say special thanks to the TIF Authority for investing in the front of that property to do that fringe. It's going to be a great hangout place, but just one more thing that'll make it a great place for us. So thank you for that. All right, item 8 is approved second and final reading of ordinance 2427, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Carter Crossing Unit 2. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 9 is approved second and final reading of ordinance 2428, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Harmony Subdivision Section 2, Phase 1. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 10 is approved second and final reading of ordinance 2429, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Dove Point Phase 2. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams?
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter?
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge?
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley?
Yes.
Esquire Cummings?
Yes, ma'am.
Item 11 is accept the bid from Springbrook for budget and accounting software for the Warren County Treasurer's Office, including alternate number 1 for occupational tax software in the amount of $36,350 in subscription cost annually, along with implementation costs not to exceed $71,669. There were 3 bids were received. This was the best evaluated bid. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Williams. Discussion or questions?
Greg, how long a contract is this? Multiple years or year to year?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Nikki, do you know the length of the contract?
Steven's on there. He's the one that sent it to me.
But it's not any length, it's just renewable each year?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
And the annual amount should be in that information.
thank you.
Ron, I will say we've had our current software since 1988.
So you're trying to catch up with the courthouse renovation?
I mean, what was the rush? All right, please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 12 is approved determination amount of $7,300 for a drainage study on a cave and Second Streets in Smiths Grove to Arnold Consulting Engineering Services, and this is paid for by Stormwater. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 13 is approved determination amount of $40,000 even for backyard conservation, soil erosion control, and dead animal removal program partnerships with the Warren County Conservation District, and this is paid for by Stormwater. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 14 is approve emergency determination, the amount of $3,900.09 to Master Supply for replacement of a backflow preventer at the complex at Ephraim White Park. Recently, the complex was flooded due to failure of that backflow. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 15 is approved determination, amount of $19,376 to Conrad Flooring for yearly resurfacing of gym courts at Fillmore Park, Ephraim White Park, and Buchanan Park, and painting of the pickleball courts, and this is the state price contract. Motion by Squire Lasley, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 16 is approve emergency determination in the amount of $2,670 to Bowling Green Garage Door for the Sally Port door spring replacement at the jail. Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 17 is approved determination amount of $9,894.39 to CAECO All Lines Fund for the insurance premium of Aviation Heritage Park Museum building and contents valued at $2,775,000 for the building and $560,000 for the contents, and this is a contracted vendor. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 18 is approve increase in mowing rate at Sugar Maple Square with a contracted vendor, MCS Landscape, from $85 to $350 per service due to the amount of time and size of the area. This would increase the yearly rate from $2,732.86 to $9,800 based on the original bids received earlier this year. That's still the lowest bid received. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 19 is approved determination, the amount of $6,842.15 to Causey's Collision for repair of a Parks Department vehicle that was hit by another vehicle that ran a red light. A claim has been filed and is pending. 3 quotes were obtained. This was the lowest and best.
So moved.
Motion by Squire McWhorter, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 20 is approve the 211 report for August 2024. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley. Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 21 is approved determination, the amount of $3,325 to BGMU for the installation of a dark fiber line from Ephraim White Gym to the Emergency Management and Visiting Storage Building at the park to ensure continuous internet access to the buildings and authorize Judge Executive to sign all related documents.
FYI, that we're supposed to be voting. I don't know why it came up visiting. the voting storage building.
Okay, today is Crystal's birthday,
I'll have one mistake.
and you're allowed one mistake. It's only 9:45, however, in the morning. So let me read that again, and I apologize. Approved determination amount of $3,325 to BGMU for the installation of a dark fiber line from Ephraim White Gym to the emergency management and voting storage building at the park to ensure continuous internet access to the buildings, and authorize judge executive to sign all related documents. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter. Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 22 is approved determination amount of $750 per month for 24 months to upgrade BGMU fiber from 1 gig speed to 2 gig speed at Ephraim White Gym and the emergency management and voting building. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 23 is approved first reading of ordinance 2430, authorizing a lighting agreement between Warren Rural Electric Cooperative Corporation and Hanover Run Subdivision Phase 1. Motion by Squire Cummings, second by Squire McWhorter. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 24 is approved first reading of ordinance 2431, rezoning property located at Ewing Way, approximately 200 feet northwest of Ewing Ford Road, from highway business and single-family residential to highway business, containing approximately 1.21 acres and presently owned by Beech Tree Farms, Inc. Motion by Squire Aldridge, second by Squire Lawrence. Discussion or questions?
Judge, if I may,
Yes.
I understand that I've been contacted by some individuals who may want to approach this body in opposition of the zoning. So I just want to remind this body, you may be sitting in a quasi-judicial setting, and because of that, know now, you shouldn't be talking about it. Everything that should be presented to the body should be presented in open court. So this is open court right now. So just keep that in mind going forward. Another thing, when do you have the second reading set, Judge?
26, I think.
26th of September?
Yes.
You may want to consider knocking that back just a little bit, because if they come at your next meeting and request a hearing, you would determine what type of hearing to give them, if any. And then at the next meeting, you would do that prior to the hearing. Does that make sense? So that's going to change it. I just hate for you to pay for advertising and then have to redo it.
That's fine.
Okay,
Yep.
just a thought.
Be great, yes, that sounds good. We'll address that for sure. So thank you for that information.
Thank you, Judge.
That's great. All right, any question, discussion? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 25 is approve order 2429, reappointing Gary Counts and Tracy Mosley to the Contractors Licensing Board.
Motion.
Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Aldridge. Discussion or questions? Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Slow on the draw. Item 26, approve matching grant for the rehab of the airport terminal apron construction project and authorize judge executive to sign all related documents. The BIL grant match is 2.5% or $17,739.25. And the community grant project match is 2.5% or $28,125 for a total match from the county of $45,864.25. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Lasley. It's a great federal match right there for that, getting $1 million worth of work done at the airport. Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 27 is approve updated Chapter 7.11 Prison Rape Elimination Act Policy and Chapter 7.12 Transgender and Intersex Inmate Policy for the Warren County Regional Jail. Motion by Squire Lawrence, second by Squire Cummings. Discussion or questions? Please Please call the roll.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
Will Treasurer please report the claims?
General Fund, $864,617. Road Fund, $110,257. Jail Fund, $479,576. Stormwater Fund, $84,561. LGEA Fund, $13,333. E911 Fund, $13,025. And Fed Forfeiture Fund, $6,301. Be happy to answer any questions.
Motion we pay our bills.
Okay. We have a motion. We already had motions. All right, everything appears to be legal, so that's good. Please call the roll. Oh, we need a second by Squire McWhorter, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Esquire Williams.
Yes.
Esquire McWhorter.
Yes.
Esquire Lawrence.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Aldridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Esquire Lasley.
Yes.
Esquire Cummings.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you advertise for a second reading of an ordinance, it has to be no less than 7 days, not more than 21. Magic words of Marie Smith taught me that 40 years ago. But because of that, we're going to go ahead and advertise for the second reading on that rezoning for September 26th, and we'll just have to re-advertise. But the next meeting isn't within that time frame, so just an FYI.
And we'll speak with them about it. We'll speak, because we moved the October one, it's already
Yeah,
the
to move
15th, and
October.
it's fall, yeah. Our October meeting falls outside that, so we will have a second reading at the 26th.
Which
and
is fine.
And
It's
we'll
fine.
discuss what we're doing on
We
the,
can table it if you want to, and again, that'll be at the pleasure of the court once. And maybe no notice of opposition will be filed, we just don't know. But we foresee it coming based on information I have, so.
we'll get it all figured out, which
We'll
is
get it all figured out.
fantastic.
That's
Okay,
it.
great. Thank you for that. All right. Okay. Hello, Curtis. All good in your world? You sure can.
Successful LS Fest again this year, ever growing. And the common theme today has been partnerships. So I just wanted to take one quick second and thank Chief Duckett with the Gott Fire Department for, I don't know if he's in here, but loaning us the side-by-side emergency management for the use of the command post. Chris Coomer loaning us some gators, the Highway Department. So truly, it's growing a lot every year, and it couldn't be possible without all these partnerships and relationships. So I just want to say thank you and all of our staff. We made it work, I think, hopefully without too many glitches.
Yeah,
So
great. It was a great event and a great thing for our community, but thanks for all the hard work there, Curtis.
Thank you.
Department did a fantastic job, so thank you for that. Ms. Yates? Thank you. Jailer Harmon? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Chris, appreciate everything. Yeah, take a look at the fringe down there. I appreciate all of Chris's work on their whole department, working that out as well. So, Josh Moore? Nikki, come forward. I know you have something for us.
Hello, I just want to tell you a little bit about the grant that Crystal spoiled last week, or last time.
So we can talk about it now.
Yeah, you can talk about it now. So this is a federal grant that we applied for green infrastructure type things. It qualifies for all kinds of other things, but we didn't want to mess with it. But it is a constructed wetland at Basil Griffin Park. I don't know if you're familiar with the lake at all, but it overflows into the Lost River Cave system. And so we've had several issues in the past with, obviously, flooding is a huge one. But sticks and debris and everything getting stuck in that channel. And it just, you know, it's a part of the park that we can improve and utilize. So this started off being a $267,000 grant, but they had a little bit of money left, and so they asked us first if we would like to add more money to it. They had $42,000 remaining, and so the grant is now just over $309,000. And there is no match. We qualified for the environmental justice component, and so that was news to us and very unexpected. We didn't think we'd meet that because it was designed for rural communities or environmental justice communities. So we met that. That area of town falls into that category, which is excellent, and we don't have to add anything to it. We will, because we want to do other improvements that didn't qualify, because it's mostly green infrastructure, low impact. It's designed to decrease nutrients and sediment load, and pollutant load before it gets into the Lost River Cave system, which is really important, because once it's in there, we can't get to it, it's underground. So there's a whole lot of educational opportunities here. We're all about stormwater education, water quality education, so we will have a lot of signs and things like that, story trail, that type of thing. And that area of the park will be transformed. It'll take a little while to do it, but we've partnered with Chris Kummer and the Parks Department. We've got great ideas for environmental landscape playgrounds, which is more like rocks and boulders, and all of it is manufactured, but logs for kids to play on. If they do movies at the amphitheater out there, they'll be able to play in the playground and also watch a movie. This project could not have happened without Andrea Strange and Josh Hankins in my office. They worked tirelessly to make sure all elements of this grant were excellent, and that shows off. Obviously, Jennifer Schmidt helped us with the heavy lifting of some of the technical stuff for the grant, so we couldn't have done it without her. We've got a lot of great partners. Changes with Western, they do water quality testing at that park and have done in the area that we've been working for years, and we will use that data and continue to monitor it to see what changes occur, both with pollution and with flooding itself. So they track both things there, which is really great. Obviously, the Parks Department is a huge partner with us. We can't do anything without them, and we are really grateful that they let us take over all their parks and redo them. So thank you so much. All the ones with water, anyway. Melanie with Operation Pride has been a great partner, too, with this. We'll have to do public notices and public meetings and things like that, and we want to get the community involved when we do plantings and stuff like that. That's one of the elements of the grant that's required. The Extension Office, the City of Bowling Green, it's a really big grant. It's a really big deal. And we actually stored the highest of the 4 communities that received the grant. We had the highest score, which I'm pretty proud of. So I just want to thank you guys for all the support. And it's going to be a long process because it's a federal grant, but we will do whatever we need to do to get it done.
That's great. Thank you, Nikki. Any questions for Nikki on that? Always, everyone wants to be a part of a winning team, but being a part of a winning team is that everyone putting their own interest aside for the betterment of the goals of that team. And so I love the teamwork that Warren County always does and always provides, because that's how you get things done. Nikki, thanks for this. This is a fantastic operation and franchise deal for us, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Holly? It's good to see you in person. All right, Ronnie.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Tommy Loving stayed for a whole meeting. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. But it's always good to see you. Ben, thanks for everything. All right, our Squire McWhirter.
It's all good, sir.
Great.
Thanks for the Birdies for Brittany tournament that you put on. It was awesome. Very good.
Thank you for playing. It's great. Thank you. Squire Aldridge.
Thank you, Judge. I just wanted to remind everybody that next week, September the 17th, is actually Constitution Day. It is not, well, it has been, federal law that all public schools will be teaching classes or educating students about the Constitution during that week. Special shout out to Magistrate Williams' wife, Deborah Williams. Many years in the past, she's actually supplied the different grades with a copy of the Constitution. So just to highlight and to remember that that is Constitution, and also referred to as Citizens Day or Citizenship Day. Give a little data for our volunteer fire departments. Again, thank you for those men and women who volunteer their time. Their run volume was up over this past 2-week cycle. Approximately 211 runs were made by our 9 volunteer fire departments. Basically, half of those were medical runs. About 19 were fire, which a lot of those were brush fire. So I want to remind the citizens of Warren County, we are currently under a burn ban. I know there's rain in the forecast, but we're still under a burn ban, so they need to refrain from all outdoor burning. And then it follows up with about 32 of those calls were accidents. So again, thank you to our men and women who volunteer in those volunteer fire services. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Squire Cummings?
First of all, I want to wish happy birthday to my own niece, Crystal Cummings. She's not my niece, but I claim her. But happy birthday, Crystal. Hope you have a great day. This Saturday, there are 2 events that I'm aware of. One is the Friends of Alvaton, first-time event, having an event out at Alvaton at the Eastwood Baptist Church branch out there. Depending on the weather, there's going to be a lot of outdoor stuff, maybe moved indoors, but it is an event that's going to go off. Starts at 10 o'clock that morning to approximately 3. And then that night is the gala for the Sheriff's Foundation gala at La Gala. That's at 5 o'clock Saturday night. Then the Plano Fire Department, a little bit earlier with this announcement, when we get on the calendar, October the 26th from 3 to 7, they're having their chili supper and fundraising event out there at the Plano Volunteer Fire Department. On a personal note, I want to say happy retirement. Hate to announce it, but Rondell Miller, longtime executive director for Hotel Inc., is stepping down. Part retirement, part for some health reasons, but she served her people well in her time and tenure while she's been almost 12 years at Hotel Inc. I was lucky to be on the board for a while there, but just want to wish her the best and next steps for her. And then finally, we'll continue to announce this to the most unique event in Bowling Green, Kentucky, October the 5th, 2 weeks, basically 3 weeks from now. Operation Anvil, honoring our heroes, World War II event and battles, will be held out at Fillmore Park, out in the open section there where the mud run happens and so forth. Those who have come understand how wonderful it is, and it's great. And we're at 136 reenactors already signed up. From 9 different states are coming in to participate in this event so far. I'm sure it'll grow, but I invite the public. It's free.
Yep.
Battles at 10 and 2. The medal ceremony for the veterans will be at 11 o'clock following the first battle, and I hope all you magistrates will come out and participate. Judge has been there, Tom's been there, and Rick's been there, but hope everybody will come out and participate. That's a great event, and we do it to honor the veterans who have served our country. So Operation Anvil, October 5th. Thank you.
Proud of you for doing that. It's a great event. So, Squire Williams?
Thank you, Judge.
Good. Squire Lawrence?
Yeah, Judge, I just want to wish Crystal a happy birthday. And I also have got to wish my favorite child, Chase Lawrence, a happy birthday as well. If anybody sees Chase today, wish him a happy birthday.
We will definitely keep Chase on. How many kids do you have?
One.
He is your favorite child. Great young man. Squire Lasley?
The 17th is not only Constitution Day, it's also National Voter Registration Day. And so I would encourage folks to, if you're not registered to vote, go out and do it. You can also double check your registration. A lot of times we move from one location to another and we don't update our registration. It's pretty easy to double check. Just go to govote.ky.gov. It's also got information on requesting absentee ballots and all that. So obviously this is an election year. It's pretty important. It's our opportunity to make a difference. So I encourage everybody to go out and vote.
Great words. Treasurer Burrell?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Chandler?
I just want to send my condolences out to the family of Chief Gary Raymer. If you knew Chief, you loved him. He was instrumental in setting up our drug task force with Tommy Loving. He was a huge supporter always of everything law enforcement, and so he certainly will be missed. I also want to send my condolences out to my family, David's brother, Craig Chandler, who was a Bowling Green police officer for over 7 years. passed away, and his funeral is tomorrow. And so anyone that serves, I want to make sure that they're recognized, and I thank them and send my condolences out to everyone. And on a happy note, happy birthday to Chase, happy birthday to Crystal.
Great, thank you, Amy. Ms. Cummings,
Thank you, Judge.
that's it?
It feels good to be 30.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
I was like, wait, what?
That is fond memories. Thank you, Crystal. That's right, that's right. Deputy Judge Downing?
I just want to say happy birthday, my good friend Crystal.
That's good,
Thank you,
yes,
Judge.
that's good. And so thank you for all that. Of course, September 17th, Constitution Day, voter registration day, and also Joy Guess's birthday. I think that's probably the most important thing of that day. But I mean, with the Constitution's important, voter registration, but we'll do that. So congratulations to her as well. A couple things very quickly. Our next meeting, of course, Thursday, September 26th. We have rescheduled our first meeting in October from the 10th. It's going to now be on Tuesday, October 15th, and that's for fall break. We had some conflicts for that. So it'll be Tuesday, October 15th, our first meeting in October. Just a personal thing we did have, thank you for mentioning that, Rick. So I was glad you were able to come out there. We had our 7th Birdies for Brittany golf tournament, which was Monday at Indian Hills Country Club, and raised a lot of money for scholarships for high school students to go to Western in Brittany's honor, and also was able to donate $10,000 to the Buddy House, which was our nonprofit of the year this year. And we just had a fantastic thing. This community has blessed my family more than I could ever tell each and every one of you, and I'm just happy to do that. And so thank you for all the support. Thank you, Ronnie, and you know why, for that as well, for all that support. All right, if there is nothing else to come before the court today, a motion to adjourn, we are adjourned. Thank you.